Good morning to you, madam, and I'm Yashini Seduraman, and today I'd like to explain about my research. And my research title, which is a role of entrepreneurial motivation in determining students on entrepreneurial intention. First of all, there are 5 chapters, which is introductions, and second will be a literature review, third will be a methodology, and fourth will be a data analysis, and fifth will be a discussion. So, first of all, we go into the chapter 1, which is an introduction. The what role of entrepreneurship motivation determines students, which is they are helping to achieve their ideals of some people, to overcome problems, to hunt employment, to engage their new jobs or new students thinking of their which is their positive impact, which is a nature or next generation's movement. So this will be a starting entrepreneurship education is a very first step of their moving from the within a performance as a self-employment by creating a new business or new job. So as you can see the background of the studies, first the entrepreneurial motivation, which is the energy that encourages the individual doing activities leading of their entertainment of the needs of contribute satisfactions, and also reduce the imbalance by opening an entrepreneur or business. So it is expected that students who are obtain of the entrepreneurship education to export their within their high motivation. So likewise entrepreneurial attitude is one of the individual read less to response continuously to character list by own behavior entrepreneur. So second will be entrepreneurial intention is a desire doing proactivity, which is characters their own, directing their utilize and also implement relevant by concept of the business. So second will be a chapter 2, which is literature review. So basically there are one dependent variable and one independent variable, 3 independent variable. So first is a dependent variable will be entrepreneurial intention. So my other 3 independent variable, first will be a motivation, second will be a entrepreneurial education, and third will be a attitude. So as you can see, the mean of the entrepreneurial intention. So students are awareness is able to influence by the developed by external factors in terms of entrepreneurial educations that amends their entrepreneurial intention, starting into their intention of their effect by the person's behavior. So second will be the motivation, which is also relevant to their engagement, which is mean to their volunteer to individual, their self-regulated learning, like such as focus or communications or planning and monitoring. And third will be entrepreneurial education, which is to scope their curriculum lectures or course that providers students within entrepreneurial competitors like skills and knowledge in purchasing entrepreneurial career. And the last will be attitude. It's an attitude which is towards the behavior as extend to the person as which is like a positive or negative towards the opposite person. So it's defined as an individual attractive towards being a self-employed in the presence of the person which is the opposite. So second will be a problem, research problem. So the problem they are facing, which is the motivation. So when the things are uncertain, motivations are, it's like a struggle. If once, for example, they are struggling, so they are unable to motivate themselves and they put their the self down. So it shows that it might be a goal or once like they want to reach a goal or something their aim. So when they lack of motivation, so they're unable to start their entrepreneurial into their success. So second will be entrepreneurial education. So as we can see, there's a lot of people unemployed and unemployed. Issues of among graduates seriously concerned as been raised by policy makers and also academics. So since their studies about these entrepreneurial educations, and some people are not ready to start their business or their new enterprise. So it's also kind of their lack of their studies or maybe their motivations. So third will be attitude. So the third attitude, which is they identify the behavior, it's like a suit to be a successful entrepreneurship or not. So basically, attitude is one of the important in their once we start on entrepreneurship, because our attitude reflect our clients, maybe to attract our clients or however. So third will be a research questions and objectives. So our research question, which is how does entrepreneurial education affect students into entrepreneurial intention. So second will be how attitude towards affect students into entrepreneurial intention, and that will be how does motivations affect students into entrepreneurial intention. So the research objective, which is to test the relationship between entrepreneurial motivations and entrepreneurial intention. So second will be to test the relationship between attitude and entrepreneurial intention, and the last will be to test the relationship between entrepreneurial educations and entrepreneurial intention. So as we can see, the fourth will be a framework, which is my Hy-Vee and DV. My Hy-Vee independent variable and dependent variable. So dependent variable will be my entrepreneurial intention, and my independent variable will be my motivation and entrepreneurial educations and attitude. So basically the hypothesis reflect that positive within among of three variable. So which is the variables are positive impact. So meanwhile the hypothesis one, there are positive significant relationship between a motivation and entrepreneurial intention, and second will be there are positive significant relationship between entrepreneurial educations and entrepreneurial intention, and third will be there's a positive significant relationship between entrepreneurial attitude and entrepreneurial intention. So moving to the research methodologies. So as we can see, the target of populations are university students. So as we can see, the university students are more forward to the entrepreneurs. So from this case, we can see that how the university students are interested in their entrepreneur. So basically, these are more to university because there's private university students are available to the interest. And the second will be sample size. So the sample size 200 response in meanwhile the required sample size are around 10 response. So as you can see, the response we got it is 200 response. So that how we can we notice that how the students in universities are more into the entrepreneur. And the last will be a sampling technique, which is a sampling of probabilities to the students or to moving to the entrepreneurial new business forward. So as you can see, the summary of the measurement. So the summary measurement, so basically they are asset. So four variables or three variables are accepted. So first will be our entrepreneurial intention. So our means are basically they have 4.605, and motivations there will be 2.7 above, and attitude will be a 4.6, and educations will be a 4.9 and 3, and standard value will be all above of the 3.61, and your motivation will be a 4.6084, and attitude will be a 623.1, and education will be a 61906. So the mean of the entrepreneur educations mean and a max, which is be 1.5, and max will be a 5, and motivation will be a 7, and the max will be a 30.0, and attitude will be a 1, 1.0, and max will be a 5.0, and the education will be a 1.0, and the measurements of the educations will be in max is a 5.0. So as you can see from these the entrepreneurial in students, they are so interested in how to begin their new business of their achievement to be a successful. So so next will be a chapter 4, which is data analysis. So basically this chapter we use a SPS application to calculate the frequency percentage and the numbers and so on. So firstly we go to the response profile. So response profile, basically they have 5 demographic questions. So first will be a gender, second will be education level, third will be a nationality, fourth will be a ethnicity, and fifth will be a age. So basically from these 5 we can see that which is the highest one. So gender will be a male, the frequency will be a 129, and the percentage will be a 64.2, and the bachelor degrees education level will be a bachelor degrees, which is the frequency will be 108, and the percentage will be for 1.2, and the third will be a nationality the highest Malaysian, the frequency will be 200, and the percentage will be 99.5, and third will be ethnicity, the highest will be the Indian. So the Indian is considered 89 the frequency, and the percentage will be 100.0. And for the last but not least is the demographic question will be highest will be 18 to 25, the age, which is the frequency will be 104, and the percentage will be 91.5. So the next will be the description analysis. So the description analysis basically the standard deviation should be a 1.25 above, and it's considered asset. So if let's say the one it's below than 1.25, it's not accepted. Okay, as you can see, so in my description variable, the four variables is considered accepted. Basically all are 1.25 above. Yeah. So the my entrepreneur intention will be a 0.53601, and the motivation will be 4.00884, and the attitude will be a 6.2218, and the education will be a 0.61908. Sorry, 6. So next will be a reliability test. A reliability test consists the digit should be a 0.7 above. It's considered a reliability. Let's say it's a 0.7 below. It's not a reliability. Yeah. So basically for me, 4 variables are above 0.7. It's considered a reliability. So as we can see, there are 4 variables. First will be entrepreneur intention. Is the item will be 4. The reliability is 0.665, and the motivation will be 6, and the considers will be 8.1, and the motivation will be 4. The items will be 4, and the reliability is 0.874, and the motivations the education will be last, so it's 4, and the point will be 8.93. Yeah. So let's move on to the correlations analysis. So basically the correlations analysis, the column and the row should be same. So if let's see it's same, it's the number for the numbers of the row and column should be same. It's called accepted. And yeah, so all numbers should be 0.5 above, and so it will be accepted. Yeah, so as you can see, my correlations analysis on the entrepreneurial and motivation attributes are all 0.5 above. So the motivations, so entrepreneurial consists 736, and the motivation be 780, and the education be 675. Yeah. So the last but not least, regression analysis. So regression analysis, my situation solve 0.01, so it's accepted, and my 3 variables are accepted. So it's because it's cost of my p-value is 0.01x. Yeah. So moving on to the so last will be a discussions on finding. So basically my 3 variables discussions of findings. So first will be motivations. So there are positive significant relationship between motivation and entrepreneurial implications. So basically my P value is considered 0.01, which is less than 0.5. So the R value is considered good relativity between the motivation and entrepreneurial intention. So the what they are literature they are said is a motivation is adding a performance that above in the expected level of ability of on their motivation. So second will be entrepreneurial education. So basically same it's also the situation relationship between entrepreneurial educations and entrepreneurial implications and a p value is considered 0.01 is less than 0.5. Yeah, so the R value is the good reliability between entrepreneurial educations and entrepreneurial intention. So the what the authors says by the literature review is entrepreneur is a confidence between uncertain of entrepreneur always try to be things that challenges goals on the at the future and so on. So third will be entrepreneurial education. Yeah. Third will be attitude. So basically on the opposite the positivity significant relationship between the entrepreneurial attitude and intention, and the p value considered 0.01 more is less than 0.5. The r value is a good relativity between attitude and intention. Yeah, so what the authors say by literature review is attitudes towards behaviors as the extent to which the person's impact of their positive or negativity to the opposite person, which is one of the important of the entrepreneur in industry. Yeah. So last but not least, a conclusion. So basically this study had made understanding the variables between motivation, attitude, entrepreneur education. Yeah, and that affects a student entrepreneur intelligence. In this chapter it could include the summary and statistic analysis and major finding of the hypothesis. So as management the implements of providing increases students entrepreneur intention. So this limited and recommendations it's a support for their future. It's also important and conduct the research within knowledge and this topic, because entrepreneur is a very important position to still so in social economies in this world. So that entrepreneurial education is important assisting the developments to help their reduce the unemployment rate, since they have the knowledge of the entrepreneur. So as we can see, yes, the conclusions are the research that hope that will be providing a university students useful knowledge and understand how to be personal attitudes and effects of intention become entrepreneur. So yeah, that's it from me, and thank you, madam.